All right, I'm here at the 603 event with Jim Rubens in what was the media swarm room, but is now a room all to myself today. Jim, former candidate for U.S. Senate last time around. I'm glad to see you at this event. What brought you to the 603 event today?
It's imperative that people in New Hampshire play a role, particularly small government populists, small government conservatives, find a way to unite around a single candidate so that our weight is visible in the primary process. New Hampshire plays a critical role. We're the first in the nation primary state, and we have a bigger winnowing job this year than I think ever before on the Republican side.
Now, as far as a winnowing job, I mean, you haven't seen a bench like this since the Celtics of the 80s or the Yankees of the 50s. A lot of good candidates. And how hard is it for you as a New Hampshire resident to dig through so many people, many of which you agree with?
It's a wealth of opportunity, but I think it's also an opportunity because we have tried and failed for several election cycles to get the country to where we're bankrupt as a country. We have an inoperative foreign policy. And I think it's going to be important for us to watch these candidates over the next several months between now and February and see how they respond to the flux of challenges, political challenges happening in the real world. And avoid, something I also recommend is avoid litmus testing candidates too early, particularly litmus testing on one issue, whether it's gay marriage or what have you. Look for a candidate who can lead, look for a candidate who can thoughtfully guide the country forward on the many issues that are coming before us, and do so premised on conservative small government principles.
Now, as a former candidate for
it's not going to be obvious. It's not going to be obvious which candidate that might be at the outset.
Now, as a former candidate for U.S. Senate and state official, I imagine an awful lot of campaigns have reached out to you to talk to you and ask for support. Have you ever been so popular with so many people looking for national office?
Well, I've been involved in politics here for 25 years, so I've talked to a lot of presidential candidates. But what's wonderful is the opportunity to speak at length with some of the candidates. I've had the opportunity to have dinner. It's one of the luxuries of being here in New Hampshire. Have dinner, talk for an hour with one candidate, and you get a sense of how their mind works. And I think many voters in the state can do the same thing, because these candidates are going to be here for months, and there will be the opportunity to speak with them one-on-one, at least for a few moments. Plumb them, probe them, find out how they think.
And finally, what are your own plans? Are you planning another statewide or national run?
No specific plans.
Well, if you make some, we'd be delighted to hear them. Jim Rubens, thank you so much for your time.